Hello students, in last class we discussed about the UV spectroscopy. Today we will discuss Beer-Lambert's law and IR spectroscopy. Infrared spectroscopy. Infrared photons have low energy. If we are going to compare with UV and visible, then this type of radiation is having low energy. Here you can see that ultraviolet radiation, the wavelength is less, that means frequency is high and energy is obviously high. After that visible, and after visible there is infrared region. So infrared region is having more broader waves, that means wavelength is high, frequency is low and energy is also low as compared to the UV light. So this energy is not enough to excite the electrons from a ground state to the excited state. But this much energy can easily induce the vibration between the bonds of the molecule. There are different type of vibrations. Here you can see that this one is, the first one is equilibrium bond length. If we consider this is a bond is not very rigid. It is a spring-like nature. It is having a spring-like nature and it is slightly stretched or shrink due to absorbing some IR radiation. So this is the first one is equilibrium bond length. The second is stretched form and the third one is compressed form. So when any molecule absorbs the IR radiation, what happened? The bond may be vibrate, and during the vibration the bond will be stretched and compressed. Specific bond responds to specific frequencies or absorb specific frequencies. Why? Because the bonds are having different bond length, bond energy, etc. So it always depends upon the type of bond also. The covalent bonds in a molecule are not rigid. It may be bent or may be stretched. Due to this ability, the molecules show absorption in the IR range. There are three types of molecular transition that may occur during the IR irradiation. IR irradiation means if we are putting IR irradiation on a sample, then these three types of transition may occur. Transition, like in UV spectroscopy, there is a transition of electron from the ground level to excited level. Similarly, here the energy is not enough for that type of transition. So here what happened? In case of IR, some different type of transition takes place, and those transitions are related to the vibrations of the bond. So here there are three possibilities: rotational transition, vibrational rotational transition and vibrational transitions. So these three type of transitions are more common in case of IR spectroscopy. Molecular vibrations. The vibration is a combination of changes in the position of atoms in the molecule. Because as the bond will stretch or shrink or it moves from its position, then obviously the atom will change its position. There are different types of molecular vibration. The first one is stretching vibration. Stretching vibration, that means the bond angle remains same, but the bond length changes. Either it increases, then it decreases, increases and decreases. This type of vibration is also divided into two types: symmetric vibrations and asymmetric vibrations. So the molecular vibration first divided into two types: stretching vibrations and bending vibrations. Stretching vibrations are of two types: symmetrical stretching and asymmetrical stretching. So consider here that this one is a central atom and two other atoms are attached. This one is a bond angle. Here there is no change in bond angle, but there is a change in the bond length. Bond length will increase and then decrease. So if both sides the bond length changes with same magnitude, then it is known as symmetric stretching. But if one bond is increases and other bond is decreases, that is known as asymmetric stretching. If we are talking about the bending, this is also known as deformation vibrations. Here there is no change in bond length, but there is change in bond angle. This is again divided into two types, in plane and out of plane. In plane, that means the bonds will remain in same plane, the plane will not change, but bonds move. Here in plane type, the first one is scissoring vibration. Scissoring means the movement like the scissors. Like scissors, in case of scissors, both arms close together and then they again far apart. That means these two atoms will move towards each other and then they will move towards the outside. In rocking, both moves on same side. So here two types of in plane vibration takes place, scissoring and rocking. Second one is out of plane. Out of plane is again two types, wagging and twisting. Out of plane, that means the bond will move towards you and it goes from you. So this one is another plane and the second one is on another plane. That is in case of twisting. Like here in second case, you can see if one is goes on one plane and another goes on another plane. That is twisting. Twisting, simple dance mode, that is twisting type. And the wagging, when both moves towards the same plane once and another plane second time. So these are the different type of vibrations which takes place when a molecule absorbs IR radiation. Here, with the help of GIF images, you can clearly understand the different type of molecular vibrations which we have discussed in the previous slide. Conditions for IR absorbance to occur. There are lots of conditions in which the IR absorbance takes place. First condition is the frequency of vibration must satisfy the equation E is equals to h nu, where E is energy of photon, h is Planck's constant, nu is the frequency of the radiation. So always this equation should be satisfied to show IR absorbance by a molecule. Second is the intensity of absorption must be proportional to square of the rate of change of dipole. Obviously, if there is some change in dipole, in that condition only the IR absorbance takes place, and the intensity of the absorption must be proportional to the square of that rate change of dipole. Third is the natural frequency of vibration of the molecule must be equal to the frequency of incident radiation. That means the frequency of radiation and the frequency of vibration. Which vibration? The vibration in the molecule. So both vibrational frequencies should be matched together. Only in that case the molecule absorbs the IR radiation if the frequency is different. Maybe it is higher or lower. In both cases, the molecule will not absorb that frequency. Next is change in the vibration must stimulate change in the dipole moment of the molecule. That means if some vibration takes place in a molecule, it should change the dipole moment of the molecule. That means before the absorption and after the absorption, the dipole moment should be different. On the basis of these facts, the molecules can be classified into two types, whether they are infrared active or infrared inactive molecules. Mostly in case of infrared inactive molecules, the molecule do not show vibrational spectra. That means if a molecule is infrared inactive, in that case there is no peak in the IR spectra. These type of molecule do not have a permanent dipole moment. That means these type of molecules are non-polar in nature. The bond is non-polar, like in case of O2, H2, N2. These bonds are non-polar molecule because both sides same atom is present. Third, do not exhibit a change in the dipole moment. First condition was there is no dipole moment, and the second, even after movement in the bond. Movement means any type of stretching or shrinking, any type of vibration also does not produce any type of change in dipole moment. If a molecule is having these features, the molecule is infrared inactive molecule. The examples are oxygen molecule, hydrogen molecule, nitrogen molecule, etc. On the other hand, the infrared active molecule shows vibrational spectra, means the vibrational spectra shows some peaks in case of infrared active molecules. These type of molecules have a permanent dipole moment. That means the bonds in these type of molecules are usually polar in nature. Both sides different atoms are present. These active molecules exhibit a change in the dipole moment after irradiation. During the vibrations of bond, also there is some change in the dipole moment. CO2 is exception, slight exception is there in case of CO2, as this molecule does not have a permanent dipole moment, but still it is IR active. Why it is IR active? This can be explained by the different modes of vibration which we have already discussed earlier. In case of symmetric stretching, this is example of a molecule of CO2. Here the center atom is carbon and other two red atoms which are shown by the red ball. These two atoms are oxygen atoms. So in case of symmetric vibration, the bonds stretch, both bonds stretch with same magnitude. That means the dipole moment on left side is equal to the dipole moment on right side, and both cancel each other because both are equal in magnitude but opposite in the direction. So overall the dipole moment will be zero even after the vibration. So this symmetric stretching mode is IR inactive mode. But if we are talking about the other stretching or bending modes, different vibrational modes, these are IR active, because in case of asymmetric stretching, one bond is shrinked and another bond is stretched. So obviously the magnitude of dipole moment is different on both sides and there is some resultant dipole moment. And hence this mode is IR active. In case of in-plane bending, obviously both the dipole moments are equal but are not in opposite direction. So obviously here also some resultant dipole moment, and hence this in-plane bending is IR active. Another is out of plane bending. In case of out of plane bending, also the dipole moment are not exactly opposite to each other, hence this bending is also IR active. That means some vibration modes are IR active and some are Not IR active. That's why the CO2 shows infrared absorption and it is active in infrared radiation. This is all for today. Thank you for listening carefully. In next lecture, we will also discuss some more interesting facts about the IR spectroscopy.